Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go? All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today, we're with Will Kilroy of New Mexico State University Center for the Arts. Will, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Excuse me, mercy. Where are you at today?
I am here in New Mexico, Las Cruces, New Mexico.
There you go. There you go. We are in Kansas today and got rain finally. It's kind of new to us.
We only wish we had rain here in the desert, but not today.
I bet you. I bet you. Will, give us a little background on you and how you got in your position here at the university.
Sure. I went to New York City at 18 years old and studied there at the American Academy of Dramatic Art and the National Shakespeare Conservatory, went back to school at University of Rhode Island, went to graduate school at University of Illinois, worked in California, worked in New York, then got a job at University of Southern Maine, and then got this offer to come to New Mexico just about 7.5 years ago. So from Maine to New Mexico, the cold to the heat.
The cold to the heat.
Right.
How long does it stay hot down there?
Oh, it's hot most of the year. In the winter, it'll be cool at night and then maybe 50, 60 during the day. But of course, in the summer, it can get up into the hundreds.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. All right. So what year did you come to New Mexico?
2015.
2015. Cool. Tell us about your current position there at the Center for the Arts.
Right. So I am the department head of theater arts. So I get to oversee everything. I'm also a professor and teach performance classes and direct productions in our theater.
What type of productions do you guys have currently going on right now?
And right now we have a newer play and it's called Big Frog, and it's about high school kids who are in Florida meeting together, and then they go away for 10 years and they come back and the frog has expanded. So you can take that for a metaphor as far as what that is, but
Sure.
People can come and see the play to figure all that out.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you just do in-house productions or do you bring in touring acts as well?
We do rent our theater out. So we have different dance companies that have rented out. We've had some musical, companies that have rented
Sure.
it. And then depending on what's happening, we might bring in a special guest that's touring, that sort of thing. So it really depends on what space we have. Our students are the priority, so their productions go first, and then we see what else we can fit in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's talk about some fun things, and we'll talk musical productions mainly. Let's start just with live music and live entertainment. What's the best concert you've ever seen in your life, Will?
You know what? The best concert, I'm going to go way back in time when I was young in New York City and I saw Lena Horne, if you know who she is, a singer who's passed away now, but she did a one-woman show on Broadway. And when I went to the theater and I saw that she was singing I Got a Name by Jim Croce and she's singing Yesterday by the Beatles, I thought, what is this? And when she came out and sang those songs, it was astounding. So that is what stays in my mind. The live singing performance was Lena Horne many, many years ago.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, what's the best theatrical production that you've seen your entire life?
Wow, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot on Broadway. In fact, I just got back from London 2 days ago and saw many shows there on the West End. Probably one that sticks in my mind is Aida, that Elton John did the music for, and saw that in New York a couple of times.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now let's spin it to another type of question. Dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to the Center of the Arts Theater. Who would you bring?
Yeah, okay. One musical act. Who would I bring? Well, if she were still performing, which I don't know that she is, I would say Tina Turner.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. And then let's keep on the same concept there. If Broadway production that you could bring to the Center for the Arts that is no longer in production, what would you bring back for your students to watch?
I would say maybe a chorus line. I know that played on Broadway for a long, long time and then toured. I don't think it's really anywhere at this point, but I think that really gives you insight into show business. And of course, a lot of our students want to go into this as a profession. And I think that show sort of tells it like it is as far as the competition and how people are kicked out and the toughness of it all.
No, for sure, for sure. Okay, let's talk about live entertainment and live performing in general. What is it for you that drew you in at a young age to the live entertainment industry?
I mean, I think there's nothing like it as far as being in the room, being in the presence of whoever those artists are, whether it's a single performer or a whole ensemble on stage doing a show. There's nothing like it. You can't replicate that in a movie or on TV because anything can happen. And you're live in front of these people who are, breathing with you, singing for you, dancing for you, and in a movie, of course, they can do hundreds of takes, they can make it perfect. But on stage, you have to be there now and really give it to the audience. And that's exciting.
How old were you the first production that you were involved in?
So in high school, I definitely did theater in high school, but no one ever told me you could pursue it as a career. So I actually graduated high school early and did a year at college as an accounting major because my dad was a CPA and I knew that was a good job and I was good at math. So that's what I did. But I hated it. So that's when I ran away to New York City to study theater.
That's awesome. So like, were you in the middle of getting that degree when you made that decision? You're like, hey, I know that I don't want to do this. I want to do something that I enjoy for the rest of my life. Were you in the middle of that and went ahead and completed it? Or did you wait and worked it for a while?
No, I just did 1 year as the accounting major. Okay. Then I left for a little while, tried to, as my parents might say, find myself.
Sure, sure.
And always knew that I loved theater, loved performing. And that's when I went off to New York City and thought, well, I've got to give this a try.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. If looking back, do you wish that you would have been involved at a younger age? Say, preschool up in that time frame. Is that something you think about or not so much?
Well, I think it's important for youngsters to really be exposed to theater. I run a theater camp both in New Mexico and also still in Maine.
Yes,
because I think that young people need to be exposed to the arts, and not that they would even go into it as a career, but just to get them to be more empathetic about studying characters or, walk in somebody else's shoes or be more expressive or be more confident, all of the skills that performing arts can bring. So I think that's important. So, I did it throughout school. Even when I was younger, I wasn't involved in any sort of camp or program, really, only what was in my classes. So yeah, if I had had that experience, that would have been great. It might have been better for my development. That wasn't really available in the small town where I was.
Yeah. But you obviously see the value in that in just in the fact that you're actually putting those camps on. That's tremendous in doing that. Will, how do people find out more about the productions you have there at the Center for the Arts if they're traveling through? What's a good way for them to look you up online?
Yeah, best way is to just go to our website, and it's theater.nmsu.edu. And then everything's there. You'll see all the shows. You'll even see if you wanted to rent our theater, if you have your own production, there's information about that, information about everybody that's involved there, and synopses of all the shows. So that's the best thing to do, is just go to the website and check it out.
Perfect. Well, thank you for Man, I'm just going to say thank you for doing what you're passionate about. Number one, we all know people, and you have friends, and I have friends that are just working that 9 to 5, and in the back of their head they have that regret of, I wish I would have done that. You are one of those, Will, who did not do that, and you went and chased that dream. So thank you for doing that, number one, and then thank you, number two, for giving back, not only to your community but also in these youth camps as well. That's tremendous for live entertainment.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. Well, baby, I'm